Hello. Okay. Um, the reason for the background that I was motive behind this. What I was going to do, though I've decided perhaps not today, is make an act. Either being non-existent or, but then I ran out of time, and so here we are. And actually just busy. Start this stream with a plan of commentary in mind. But just my mic up very well. Um, Guess like once again I'll just talk about what I'm doing to fill the silence. Um yeah, so basically what I'm just doing now is I'm selecting outside of, but I'm going to invert the selection and then turn it in. Oh, if that's I think that's a shadow. Um and yeah, the reason for this is because once I'm done with this, I'm going to lock the opacity on all of my one layer that will happen, and basically just color from there. Might have to sift back through the anime at some point because I remember the scene, but I don't remember it like 100% vividly, and I might not get the colors 100% right, so I'm gonna back and hopefully all will be good. But I think I remember it just fine, so we'll just see if I struggle. This illustration was colored once before. Oh, and one other thing I should mention because last stream I mentioned that I was going to do the logo coloring or the signing on the next stream, and I went to go like experiment and mess around after. And basically, here's what happened with that. Right, I went to go mess around, try and figure out because I knew what I was going to do for the logo. Because uh, you know, we discussed like what we had plans on doing for the logo. Um, separately, and then I was like, okay, well, I'll try and design it. And I open up what's it called, and I start like trying to design it. I'm like, oh my god, very difficult to do um, by hand. I wish I could, like, if I had Blender. I was like, oh, maybe I should just do it with Blender. And so I pull open Blender and start trying to use nodes to make make a logo, and that took forever and went absolutely nowhere. So then I immediately also learned like design is like a major and an entire field of study. And yes, I can color, uh, but I am not proficient in. That is something that I need to improve on. Or am I gonna do the blood on a separate? This smoothing tool in the filter blur, all that does is basically um sharp. I don't want to say jagged because right word to describe it, but like familiar with like anti-aliasing, right? Have a really sharp line. It smooths the edge. It does what it says on the tin. Not really anything noticeable, but I think it's um. By hand. Oh, what? Since it's kind of faded, action more towards. I'm gonna try and watch, and then just. Also not 100% sure how I want to approach this. I know like in a lot of anime blood. I think it's probably more of a censorship thing. Basically debating whether or not I want to pay or if I want to try and actually color it. Try because that's likely going to be really difficult, but here's a better way to explain anti-aliasing. Yeah, you can see the pixels here, right? I do smoothing. This will anti-alias them, so it'll basically like out and make that. That is what the smoothing thing does. Bam. Blood that I think I'll be able to do it just fine. I guess this is also kind of unusual because you not do effects like this. Probably in most cases would have get the silhouette done. Color, so to speak. Even if I don't pull up reference, I do need reference pulled up because I problem with the audio on the stream. What kind of problem? Oh, uh, Voice, my voice fades away. Okay. Um, I know what that is. An error necessarily. It's just something I haven't configured properly. That should be gone now, right? But you probably hear my fan in the background. Okay. I'm gonna have to figure out a solution for the noise then besides using a gate because I have to have a fan on up here. Maybe I can find like a less noisy fan, but there's a good chance that well I just need a less noisy environment because well we'll see what happens. Uh, there's going to be probably a good amount of background noise that my mic will pick up. Perhaps Nazo has a fix. He's probably a lot better with this stuff than I am. Suppose y'all will get to experience. I live on a main road, so there's like people going around with like blasting like music down, like going a million miles an hour down the road. I got a dog that likes to bark. Her favorite pastime. Perhaps getting background music would like cover up the background noise. Still need to do that. Okay. Hopefully the mic doesn't also pick up my chair creaking. It does do that. All I know is that like the Blue Yeti, which is the mic I have, is like also used in ASMR. So like it's a pretty damn sensitive mic. Okay, I think that's all the blood. Oh wait, just got this little splotch here. Oh, okay, you barely hear the fan, voice is clear. Noted. That is good news. Okay. There's a little bit over here that I could touch up. Alright. Save that. Now I think I'm just gonna copy this and blur it on top. Oh, would you notice? The rest of the pic is slightly lower? What do you mean? Should be 1192 by 1800? Is it not? I mean, I know the ReZero wiki doesn't exactly have like 100% perfect like full cuts of all the illustration. Huh. I think the resolution might be the same. Oh, that's right. That's what you said. You said the res. I thought you said the rest. I misread it. That's odd. Maybe did you grab that preview image from Twitter because um like Twitter will lower the resolution. 'Cause if not, like it's still early in the illustration, I could probably adjust it. Yeah. Because I don't know how you would have found the unless it like says the resolution somewhere on my screen. I don't know. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me like I'll find out by doing this. Oh wait, no, I won't. Oh, the more you know. Uh I did not know. Apparently that they show the resolution. Hmm. Come to think of it, there is a bit of artifacting over here that the JPEG, the remove JPEG noise didn't get rid of. So let me try and convert it to this one. And oh, okay, there's kind of the same artifact in it. Maybe I can get rid of it. Okay, yeah, that's noticeably better. I'll try and transfer everything over. Thank you for that catch. This probably won't take too long to fix up. Yep, that's basically all good. It's not 100% perfect, but I can fix it up manually. Oh, that is way too big. Brush size. accidentally just save that as illustration. Let me fix that. What color are the horns canonically when they aren't glowing pink or white? I'm not sure. I think they only really show when they're glowing. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I'm going to pull up the reference in just a moment here to check, so we'll see how they handled it in the anime. Let's see. Check out. They were also glowing in the anime. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Figure I'll just pull up the scene anyways because quite frankly I just kind of need to. Is this episode 11? I think so. Yeah, this is episode 11. I actually found the frame. They're always going pink, I guess it's just their nature. Yeah, I figured. Have you guys seen the new Crunchyroll? They actually made it look really nice. Okay, they don't actually show the horn in the frame that is like recreated from the unless I'm missing it. Yeah, okay, so okay. I see the palette, and yeah, I thought I remembered like the whole thing, like the scene being very fiery. So I'm gonna try and reflect that in the lighting here. Let me just get the background in, and then I will start. It's kind of like this cracked earth thing going on. I'm using a lot of different layers today, but I'm uncertain on how I'm going to handle all of these colors, and I think I'm just gonna I'll make this white for now actually, until I make a decision, but whatever is here is obstructing the background, so may as well just color under that for the time being. I'm trying to use my hairbrush for this. just get rid of that for now. Trying to use more like painterly colors lately. It's like this shadow's kind of like an indigo. I think I'm gonna put a little bit of pink in it and shift it into like red because this whole scene is very fiery. I'll come back to this effect for the horn. I'm just gonna put in like a very simple like temporary thing here for the horn color. I'll come back to that later because I want to get Rem done first. Let me just pull up a reference for her outfit. Okay. Here we go. Oh. I don't know if my mic picked up the police car, but I haven't heard one of those in a while. Actually, that's a lie. I feel like I've heard one very recently. Let's go. Oh my god. Two viewers just joined as soon as I got a police car. Everyone's here. Hello, people who have just arrived. A cop car just passed my house, and now there are people in my stream. Okay. These are white, right? Let me make sure. Yes, okay. Actually, I think that's leg texture, not leg texture. Not cloth. I really just called skin leg texture. God damn, dude. I'm going insane. Absolutely losing my mind. Is this in shadow, actually? No, this isn't. I was wrong. Actually, that looks pretty good. I'm blending past the shadow a bit. Might do that. I don't know, because I kind of want to load this whole image up with subsurface scattering everywhere, because that is my new favorite toy to play around with. And since this scene is so high contrast, this is like the perfect medium to explore that with. So let's do it. Skin time. Or should I say leg texture, but on the face. Oh, I totally missed this piece of blood over here. Let me change that. Oh, don't get rid of that. This can be messy just fine. So it'll be blurred out. There we go. Good, fixed. Okay. I feel like this one's going a lot quicker than last week's. I don't want to call too soon, jinx myself, and be here for 3 hours. That being said, last week I did deliberately slow myself down. So okay, I need to pull up the light level reference for Rem's hair. I don't know what it is about it. I can never get the color right without seeing the actual reference art. Actually, I think I got it closer this time than I usually do, but It's such like a specific shade of blue that I can't name off the top of my head. Granted, this should all be kind of shifted a bit more towards yellow than usual, given the lighting. Sure. I think I'm going to backlight this entire image as well. So before I continue, I want to fix up the details around the face that I kind of smudged up. That doesn't look too good. Okay. Just today, I kind of came to the conclusion that, you know, depending on the curvature of the object, these shadows should really like stretch to match. Not shadows, the lights from a subsurface scattering should really stretch through. I think that is helping. adding in some. I think this is ambient occlusion. I don't know like half the terms of the things that I do. Just kind of like, no, there should be dark here. I really should, because like I'm studying like rendering techniques and shaders and stuff in my own like development time. I don't know what to call it either. I guess I'm just very bad at labels and shit. Yeah, here we go. Put the darker color here, guys. Okay, follow along with me now. I love coloring cloth so much. It's so much fun to render. Drawing cloth, sometimes, not so much. It's like very difficult to draw, but once the shapes are in place and make sense, rendering it and like all the folds and stuff is so much fun. I'm gonna do these hands in a moment. Let me just finish up with this here. And yeah, skin time. And then I do need to do like the blue over here and the trim and everything as well, so still quite a bit more left to do. Another cop car. There they go. What's going on today? Man, it's been weird over here lately. Like, I don't know how to describe it, other than like, no, it's just been weird. Like, it hasn't been bad. Like, it's just been weird. Like, I had a pretty good morning today. You know, I woke up early. I had a guidance counselor appointment, and I got my schedule built for college, and it's all very nice. And I go downstairs, like, oh boy, and the dog is taking a shit on the kitchen floor. I'm like, Ruby, what the hell are you doing? Because she's not a puppy. She's very old, actually. So I guess it's kind of like the bell curve of shitting on the floor that all dogs go through, where like certain points in their life they just start to shit in the house more. Uh, but she's never done that before. I was like, wow, way to rain on my parade, Ruby. But I wasn't like really that bothered by it. It's just a matter of like, damn, I just had to take a shit on the floor. And then yesterday we got our once per year annual wasp in the house. We always get exactly one wasp in the house per year. Uh, but like I avoided it for pretty much the entire day, so it was like it wasn't like it wasn't bad. It was just like, oh, okay, like hanging out in the other room then. That looks way too metallic. You getting one per day? A one wasp in the house every day? Dude, what on earth? Oh my god. More. Oh my god, do you guys have like an infestation or something? That's the norm here. Oh my god. Yeah, no, we don't usually see wasps like that in New York, no. So I'm not used to them. Like, you gotta understand, I have like a bug radar because I'm a like awful like paralyzed insectophobe, but really more so spiders and bugs, uh, or spiders and like bugs that can harm me, like wasps or bugs that have like, if I don't handle the situation right, it'll go poorly, like stink bugs, right? So, like, I don't think I will like enter a room without like passively scanning it for bugs. So like as soon as I go into a room, if there's a bug in there, like you bet your bottom dollar I know where it is and what it is, right? So I remember like I was on the phone, my friend Joe, right? Me and Joe try and meet for breakfast every day. We very rarely actually pull it off, but every time we've met for breakfast, calamity is struck. And so the time before that, Joe's door broke, and so yesterday for breakfast, I'm like talking to Joe. I'm like, I'm about to go downstairs and get my breakfast, and I'm sitting here. And I'm like trying to find my headphones. Like, God, I can't find my headphones. I go out the door and I look up. I'm in the hallway for no more than a second, and there's a wasp buzzing around the light like a moth. I'm like, I know wasps don't really do that, but like, back in the room, close the door, like. Barricade it, you know, not going out there, no fucking way. And then Joe had to like convince me, like, Dom, you know, you can't just sit in your room and starve. You need to like leave your room at some point today. And I'm like, I know, but like, what if I get stung by the wasp? He's like, nah, don't worry about it. So I go outside and the wasp isn't there. All right, and I'm chilling. I had to change my usual breakfast because I figured if I put honey in my breakfast, I would be assaulted and then get sued by bees in the public eye, if there was one in my house. So I didn't have my usual breakfast. Instead, I took some of the honey that I would have used to make my breakfast and laid out a trap. And like a couple of hours later, the bitch took it, took the bait, and we let it go outside. You get used to them at some point. Okay, I mean that's fair. Yeah, I'm just not used to them because they're so infrequent around here. Like, yeah, they only really show up in the summer, but I don't even leave the house that much. So, and what's worse is, well, it's not worse actually. It saves me a couple of $1,000. Um, for college, I chose to delay a semester, right? Because the online school really wasn't working for me, and also just a couple of other factors. But one of the main factors was like, okay, I need to go to school in person, and so I wait a semester. And my dad's getting tired of me being home, so he's like, okay, at all costs, you have to go to school next semester, online or not. I'm like, okay. And just this morning, I made my college schedule, and I'm thrilled because everything lined up nice, and I switched my major, and everything was good, and I have a nice schedule. The problem is that, like, the school offers on, like, in-person classes, but, like, not all classes are in person, and none of the classes that I selected have in person, or at least most of them don't, to the point where, like, I'm not going into school just to take statistics and leave, because that costs me a car, which I don't have, and I'm not gonna buy a car so I can take a statistics class if I can take it online. Uh, so good and bad news, I guess. Good news being that I don't have to buy a car right now. Bad news being that I guess I'm not touching grass for a while, or at least not being forced to. So I'm not gonna be. You know what? You know what this needs? This needs subsurface scattering. My favorite thing. Apparently. Subsurface scattering. Yeah, it is really the new buzzword. Um, I don't know. I just think it makes everything look so much nicer when you implement it. Also, it is what happens in real life. It's just kind of artistically exaggerated when I do it. Especially for a scene like this where the lighting is like really intense. There should be subsurface scattering. Yeah, that looks good. Let me save this. Ooh, chromatic aberration is also really cool. I remember when I first set up a VR environment in Unity, one of the first things that I did was like, oh, I'm like, okay, well, let me try and mess around. It's so scary when Clip Studio freezes. Let me try and mess around with like post-processing effects in VR, because like you can't put post-processing on your eyeballs. So like, oh, it's another cop car. Man. Anyways, so I'm like, let me look through all the post-processing effects in Unity, because I'd never done post-processing before. And yeah, no, I gotta run. Zara on the run. So anyways, right? I keep like taking myself off topic. Um, yeah, Unity. Chromatic aberration was one of the post processing effects. I'm like, okay, turn it on and crank it all the way up, just to see, right? And I put my VR headset, and let me tell you, man, chromatic aberration in VR is fucking trippy as hell. Like, well, it's not trippy as hell, but it's very uncanny because like it's an effect that like you're used to seeing, but like not on your eyeballs. So maybe it's also just because I had it cranked up to the maximum. That is a bit too pink. Hold on. Yeah, I've been playing around in Unity lately, doing some work on personal projects. Transferring over from Game Maker Studio to Unity has been such a rough process. I haven't been doing it every day, so that's another issue. So like I'm learning it very slowly, which is making actually programming things very difficult. I've found that I have accidentally managed to only select like deceptively complicated tasks for like, oh, I'm going to make a potion game and there's going to be fluids. And then I realize how difficult it is to make fluids. So I'm like, okay, well, what if I just did a fluid like particle effect and handled everything like organically and then just used a shader to make it look like there's liquid in the bottles. The shaders are very complicated. And so I'm running into all these walls like a loon, and I'm just chewing away at it rather slowly, but it's concerning, right? Because it hasn't been my daily priority, which it should be because it's what I want to be like my career and shit, right? So I should really be prioritizing it, but I have not been motivated to do it at all, considering that I'm not fluent in my programming language anymore. Like I was in GML, where I could just sit down and write an app. Cannot do that anymore. Go through like a gajillion guides and write 2 lines of codes, and by that point hours have passed. So it's been a very, very rough learning curve. I'm not giving up on it though, like no fucking way. But yeah, between that and this and some other work that I'm doing in Vocaloid now, game dev is really fun. It's just mostly the design part that's fun, and building all of the tools to get there is like kind of fun, or at least it's very okay. Programming isn't fun. People who say programming is fun is masochists speak, right? That's what they do. Programming is not actually fun. It's torture. But once you get something working that you've been struggling to get working for the last N hours, is like screaming in joy, like hallelujah, like absolute ecstasy, and nothing I have ever done in my life has matched that. So that's what keeps me hooked. It's addicting. It's not fun, it's addicting. It's like Genshin Impact. I haven't played Genshin since the update. I'm so mad. Did all that theory crafting, got so fucking excited, like I'm gonna get Yanfei, and I got Favonius Greatsword and Noel. Oh, you're playing Genshin now? Oh, bless your soul. This should really be. Yeah, the co-op is fun. I wish it was more like focused on the co-op, because originally I went into the game like thinking this is an MMORPG, And then I got debated and like, nah, actually it's a gotcha game. And shame. I mean, I know like the recent events have been a lot more like focused on the co-op. This isn't. Hold on. This isn't supposed to be here. Or wait, is it the other way around? No, no. This is right. I see, I see. I'm just moving some windows around over here. Need to get better at like window management because I have 4 windows open on my other screen. Send me the function. I do know C sharp. I can take a look at it. If it's at least if it's not too long, I can look at it now. Actually, just DM it to me. I love working with like desaturated shadows now. I used to like really oversaturate everything. Let's see. Video file name, blah blah blah. I don't know the USM file extension. Um, okay. Yeah, yeah. Let me take a look at this. All right. Love how this is like half art stream and half like yes, dissect C sharp code. Uh, the first half, all it's doing is just getting the file name and just stripping the extension from it. Uh, so then each character, I think, that's converting it to a long. The ulong is like kind of like it's not an integer, but it's like a very long, like data. That it's a data type, right? And it's like longer. It stores much higher than the default like integer limit of like 2.147 billion. The U means unsigned, so it's not it can't be negative. So it's pretty efficient if you want to store something like an encryption key, which is what it's doing. Let me think. Yeah, one of I think the best things I ever took the time to sit down and do was just actually sitting down and reading through the C sharp documentation the same way like some people will sit down and just read a dictionary. I just like took a day off, like sat in my bed and read through the C# documentation, or at least a lot of like the beginner sections to like make sure I'm not missing anything. I actually have notes on that. I can just like drop them in here somewhere. Where are they? Actually, I might not have notes on it. I think I may have taken notes and then deleted them because a lot of it was like redundant. This will get the file name from text and some numbers, and I need to get those numbers to text. Encryption key. Encryption key times 3 plus. And yeah, the U long in parentheses next to video file name of I, basically what that's doing is it's getting the character of the what's it called, converting it with a cast to a long. So I'm assuming that's by its ASCII code. I actually don't know how a string is converted to a long off the top of my head, but it's converting it to basically a number and then writing the encryption key. So I guess the way you would write a function to reverse engineer this would be to like start off with the encryption key, go from the back to the front, and then like subtract. Well, you have to be subtracting from the encryption key. Oh man. Yeah, you would need the file name, and it's I would need it if I were to test it. I can do it now. Let me just like get another like step done, and then I can justify like taking a like a short programming break. I've never done something along the lines of like decryption. Like, okay, that's not 100% true. I did as a project once write like a cipher program for like a very simple like Caesar and Vigenère cipher. Those two aren't really that complicated, but I imagine the approach that I'll have to going about solving this one will be very similar. So just a little bit of trial and error. Okay, this is a bit too dark. brighten this up. Also, just because the light in this scene is like so intensely yellow because there's a giant fire somewhere. Not exactly sure where the light. I think the light source is coming from like somewhere over here. Yeah. Mm. Okay. And this is all. Well, let me just like full screen this. Okay. This is the. Oh. Still have the anime pulled up on my other screen. Okay. Okay. I feel like this could be a bit more blue. The trim here. Yeah, it looks good. I might actually just desaturate her hair a little bit. Or just blend it a bit towards brown to match in with the environment here. And I just want to do an overlay or maybe a glow dodge layer of like faint like yellow orange. There we go. I'm actually going to tone it down a bit here. I didn't do that shadow on the background layer. This is supposed to be purple. Okay. There we go. Maybe we'll save that. Very good. I didn't do one here either. Oh my god, I'm so bad. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't blame you, because I feel like almost everyone as a beginner doesn't know how to properly handle saturation because, like, color is very subjective and you usually don't learn, like, just exactly how much so it is subjective until, like, you're really experienced. You're like, okay, well, I could color, like, green with the color blue. And like, I think the first, when I learned that, the way I first learned that was in pixel art when you have to be really resourceful with your palette. And like maybe you only work with like 10 swatches on a palette at most, right? And I remember like I was learning how to draw a tree, right? I'll give an example. Right, so let's assume like a gray or a kind of like grayish blue environment and you're like drawing a tree. Now you could be like conventional, right? And you're gonna draw this tree and it's gonna have like a brown trunk. Like, okay, so whatever, like here's your tree. And then you're gonna give it like green leaves, right? You could do this. This is a beautiful tree, right? Wrong, right? An actual, like, physically accurate tree is a lot more gray, and then you highlight it with orange, and that makes it look brown. So I'll show you an example of what I mean, right? Like, say we have a tree, looks like that, very good. Trees are pretty fun to draw. I'm just not putting a lot of effort in right now, because this is just an example. You got this tree. You're gonna light it with like orangish colors or maybe like reddish colors depending on the flavor of wood, so to speak. And then there's a bit of subsurface scattering that will happen here. So like, you know, go ahead and add that in. And now this kind of looks brown overall. Right? But it's not. And really the reason it's blue is because there's reflected light from the atmosphere. And you can even add more of that in. Hold on, I lost my tab. You can even add more of that in. maybe I'd saturate this gray a little bit with like a reddish or something. And then I'm going to add in the leaves. Well, guess what? Those are also in a blue environment. So like, these go up. And you start lighting them, right? And like the midtones are green. Okay, sure. But the highlights are going to be yellow because that's the color of the sun and the color of the light the sun does. So I noticed this in like when I used to watch like Bob Ross, right? Like he'd be coloring the trees leaves with like yellow. And so I'm like watching it, I'm like, why is he doing yellow? And then I kind of realized, oh yeah, like the absolute highlights can be done with yellow because that's kind of just the way light works. And then like you can smooth all that out, make it look good. Maybe I'll like add in a little thing over here that I didn't draw in initially. And done, right? Like this is a very crappy example, but like the colors is what I'm focusing on, right? So that's like how I first realized that, like, yes, colors are very subjective. And if you look at like optical illusions that take advantage of that, like there's like the, let me just search up optical illusion. There's the one, yeah, this one. Like this. This guy. Look at this. These two are the same color. That if you look at it like from a distance, this one totally looks lighter because it's in proximity of shadow. Like that's why color is subjective, dude. So I don't know. I feel like most people my tree's in the Discord now. That was a rather long tangent. Thank you. I need to actually write up like a formal guide because I've been meaning to do that for so long because I like said I would do that, and I missed another shadow here. Who am I to educate? Oh my, keep missing all these shadows. Let me take one last look, make sure I didn't miss anything. Add just like a little extra over here. Okay, well that's good. And yeah, I definitely don't like this color here. I think I might make it just yellow. Or just wash it out. Just so it blends better. And then have like an immediate glow coming from the actual horn itself. Something like that, maybe. I don't know. This is all like kind of still temporary. I just need to do the flower, some of the pink bands, and then the eyes, and then I'm done and it's programming time. I'm going to try and see if I can actually write up the script that will do that thing for you, because that's probably going to be the easiest way that I'll figure out what to do. Oh wait, hold on, I'm getting a phone call. I'm probably not going to pick it up, but let me just make sure it's not my mother, because if that's the case then I will pick it. Where's my phone? Oh, it's all the way on this side. North Carolina. Nope. I get one spam call every day. And then I also get one text every day from... I have had very bad luck with phone numbers. I don't know if I've mentioned this previously. Right now, the big kicker is that every day I get some sort of telemarketer ad on my phone for a penis pill like program or something like penis enlargement. And they're all worded like so aggressively. It's absolutely hilarious. And I get one every day. They all come from different phone numbers, and they're all like worded like the same, but like no, they're all worded differently, but the energy stays the same. They're all very aggressive. I think the reason why this has happened, I'm very unlucky with phone numbers. You see, my first phone that I got, uh, my phone number on it was like immediately like it wasn't compromised, but it wasn't mine either. Uh, it belonged to some girl named Stephanie who didn't tell anyone that she changed her phone number, and so everyone that was trying to contact Stephanie was contacting me, and it wasn't just friends and drunk uncles. It was like jobs and like car dealerships and like Chase, like the bank. I could have proper like assumed this girl's identity if I wanted to. Obviously, I didn't because I'm not Stephanie. I'm Zarlasar. But like eventually it was tiring. Like, I'm not Stephanie. Stop texting me looking for Stephanie. Like, I'm glad she got the job at McDonald's, but go away, right? And eventually I was done. I changed my phone number. Now it's Tyler from Miami, and everybody's looking for Tyler. And same thing, like car dealerships, job applications, penis pill enlargement programs. Like, dude, I'm so done. I can't use my phone anymore because I cannot pick up the phone number, because if I dare pick up I picked the phone up once by accident, and then immediately my name must have got put on like a gajillion like telemarketer list. Uh telemarketer list, because like from that day on, like the amount of calls I got like skyrocketed. It's like, oh god. I didn't even pick it up like intentionally. I was just like pulling it out of my pocket to see who it was, and my finger just so happened to land on the button to answer the call, and I was like, no, and then it was all over. This is a bit brighter. Why use numbers as well? I don't know. See, I'm just very unlucky, and I want to change my phone number and hopefully like have it be mine, you know? Because I don't use my phone for anything anymore. Like, actually no, I use it for one thing. I use it to as an MP3 player to play audio through onto my drum set. But I haven't like sent a text on my phone. I use like pretty much Discord to get in touch with my parents now at this point, which is a little silly, but whatever, it works. Yeah. Do not use my phone. I mean, I guess like I use it like, yeah, I basically just the only things I use it for is like tasks that an iPod Touch could fulfill. Like, just like, you know, I'm downstairs and I want to watch YouTube, then if I have my phone on me, then I use that. Oh, hello, Sean. I see you in the chat now. Okay. Eyeballs. Ooh, don't put that there. That's not supposed to go there. No color there. Empanadas. Oh my god, I haven't had empanadas in so long, dude. You mentioned that. It's like, wow. There's a lot of like appetizer foods that I haven't had long because usually you have them at parties and I haven't had any parties because of COVID. Uh, there's empanadas and mozzarella sticks. I just say mozzarella sticks. I'm gonna die. Mozzarella sticks. My dad is the Italian one of the family. And I remember I said mozzarella sticks in front of him once, and he was like personally offended. Like, how dare you pronounce mozzarella like that? I'm like, yeah, once in Super Mario Odyssey release. Oh wow. Okay, this is too purple for her eyes. Let's like shift this over a little bit. Imagine being Italian. Yeah, I can't imagine. I don't really have to. It's weird because like I don't feel Italian. I just feel like I'm from New York. I think those two are usually synonymous though, so I guess it kind of checks out. Or at the very least, like I don't feel as Italian as I do Spanish, which is ironic because I can't speak Spanish. The only reason I say I feel more Spanish than I do Italian is because I think my ancestors from Naples are like distant ancestors, and my mother is from Argentina, so like hola, yeah, I can speak like a couple of words of Spanish. I took it in high school. I don't remember most of it, but like when my grandmother speaks, español, soy no español. I don't know what you're trying to. I don't know what you're trying to communicate. If you're just trying to say, no, you know what? I'm not confident enough in my Spanish abilities to try and give an answer on that. Talking with hands. Yes, that is something that I do. Except now because I kind of well, okay. And I just kind of proved my own point that I haven't made yet because I just like moved away from my tablet to answer your question about how I talk with my hands. Okay, you got it. You have fun peeing. I will answer your question anyways in your presence or not. Um, yeah, no, I like can't stream and color at the same time. You have fun peeing. I don't know. Find a way to make it fun. Enjoy yourself. Relax. I don't know. I guess I just like I reflexively say like if people are gonna like go do something, like okay, have fun. But yeah, anyways, I can't like color and talk at the same time for the most part because my hands need to be off the tablet so they can be talking. No one can see. Rather silly. Okay. I think that's effectively all of the colors down. I just gotta do the horn and touch up the blood and then do effects and then done. I'm trying to blend a little bit of yellow into the highlights. Oh, and I wanted to backlight Rem. Let me do that before I forget. Oh, I forgot to tick the time-lapse button again. Damn. There we go. You are dumping. I'm so happy for you. Yes. This image was actually supposed to be meant to be backlit from this side. I kind of just did it for both. Whoops. Sometimes I can never tell though, because like some of the illustrations are just straight up like I don't know how to describe it other than like JPEG artifacting. Troll videos. Troll videos. I don't know what you mean. But you say there's a rabbit hole to be explored, and I'm intrigued. So please enlighten me. Hmm. I think I'll just make the backlighting a bit more dull on this side. I am quite a fan of the way that came out, the backlighting. Backlighting, I forgot how sharp backlighting makes everything look. an overlay layer here. Yeah, the whole fine, the instructions, step, the incidents. Okay. I know what you're talking about now, Sean. Thank you. Fair reason to be horrified. And yes, thank you. I also think it is pretty cool backlighting. Let me do my color balance layer. I think it's mostly good, actually. I don't think it really needs too much changing. Let me see. No, you know what? I might not actually keep the color balance layer on this one. Just the first, I think I'm saying that. Because if you look here, since this is in the shadows area, at least within as far as the color balance is concerned, it kind of makes these shadows a different saturation than the way they continue across the rest of the body. And so, you know what? I don't actually think I'm going to use it, except I might... No, I can't throw it on the background because it'll affect that. Unless I can get that to come through. Let me see. Can I get it to come through on the shadows over there? No, not really. Let me try just throwing it on the background. Oh boy, you have a math test? Hold on a minute. I want to try... What if I did do this with white? What if I did this with like an off-white? Just made it brighter. I think that looks good, actually. Actually... What if I just Oh boy, okay. Fails to hold up down there. But honestly, turning this layer off, it kind of works. What if I like copy that onto the color layer? Yeah, actually, that's not bad. And I'll just like soften it up around here. Or just like wherever it needs to be softened up. Yeah, not bad. That actually did its job rather well. I think to just go a step further, I'm gonna try and add some lighting onto the blood. I'll see how it looks. I might not keep it, but I'll do a small portion of it first. Maybe I'll just like keep it subtle. Kind of like that. That doesn't look bad. That doesn't look bad. I'll keep that. There's one little thing I wanted to add in here though. Is just a bit of shading in this bit. And a little bit of texture because it is like kind of broken over here. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. This looks just about done to me, unless I'm missing anything. But usually I don't immediately call things done. I kind of stare at them and think about it for a little bit until I decide it's done. So in that time, I'm gonna open up VS Code, and I'm gonna try and fix this. Or not fix, but sort out this issue. Oh, it's happening. Oh yeah, it's programming time. I'm gonna switch my screen. Everyone who like just joined, like, oh boy, I can't wait to watch a coloring live stream. Nah, psych. Programming now. Let me do call. I'll just do display capture. Add source. Oh no, you can see my main screen now. Hold on, let me fix that. There we go. Here's our temporary thing. Oh, that like totally got moved in the wrong spot. Let me fix that. Okay. Okay, I actually don't know how to save. This is just a straight up CS file, but I'm assuming I could just do test.cs. Let me just write. There we go. Lovely naming conventions. Very good. Okay. Actually, in theory, we wouldn't need that code. Can you show me like a sample output of a number, maybe in hex, and then just numbers to convert them into file names? Yeah. Okay. Is this just like the same as it is in Java? Just do public static void main string args, and then this just is the main function that when I run. Oh, actually, this isn't Visual Studio. I can't just like run this, can I? Can you run just a straight C# script from the desktop? That is. Okay, well, it's opening up Visual Studio. Guess I'm doing this in Visual Studio, not VS Code. Oh shit, wait, what happened? Okay. So include? No. Import? Using. Okay. Going through like 3 different sets of syntax. Debug. Okay, I probably need to make an actual new project. Console app. All languages, C#. console framework. I don't know if that's how you spell decrypt there. Quite frankly, I don't care. Okay. Here we go. I see the convention is to have a capital M main. Makes sense. Okay, I don't know how to do this. I'm just gonna do return no. Yeah, show me. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, no, so this first bit of code, so let me just do like string video file name, and then, so then I'll just do object reference is required for the non-static field. Oh, right, because I have to do public static or private static. This needs to be public. This is kind of bad practice. But whatever. This is just to test something. Encryption key. So then that should output the same thing that you put. Here we go. Okay, it kind of closed. I don't know why it's closing on me. I've never done like just a C# like console application, so I don't know if I have to like make it pause or something. We have to do console.pause. Hold on. Well, you kind of have to do that in batch. Let me look it up. C# console application tutorial. Console.writeLine. Yep. Oh, okay. So then you do just a console.read key. That's effectively just a pause. Right? Yes, okay. The output I got was not the one that you got. 80,746. Wait, is that right? That's correct? Okay. So then we just need to convert that from decimal to... Okay, we don't do that. We just need to put in the encryption key. So I guess the way we'll build that is string your file name and for or actually wait a minute, hold on. I'm trying to process this in my head right now. I guess the best way to do this would be just do a while loop, or just like a int I equals 0 while I is greater than 0, and then divided by 3 minus. Wait a minute. Okay, now that I'm sitting down to do this, this is actually a little bit harder than I thought it would be. Trying to think of a way to like separate the character. Encryption key equals. Static in the brain. I won't lie. I don't actually need to make this return a string. I'll just have this return void and just do effectively what I had to do here. Start right line. Video file name. Well, first off, if it's going to do anything, this has to be encryption key minus something that I don't know how I'm going to get a hold of just yet. And then I'll just say encryption key minus 0 and then divide it by 3. The I is an iterator. Basically, the way the for loop works, this will count a number of times and repeat this code, we're starting where I is equals to 0, and it'll go to the end of it'll repeat a number of times equal to the length of characters of the file name. And each time I will increase by 1. So effectively what it's going to do is it's going to execute this code on each character of the file name. So like in the example of mdaq041.usm, right? It's just going to take the mdaq041 and it's going to do, like, the first time it's going to run it, it's going to take 0 equals 0 times 3, so 0 plus, and then it's going to convert this to a long and set that to the encryption key, and it'll do it again, but with the D. So it'll then be whatever this is tripled, and then add the next thing. So let me look up C# cast string to u long. Or actually, I'll just do C# documentation and just find the section on longs. Or maybe, let me look at strings. I didn't clean up the raw version. Okay. Okay, I see. I have no clue how this works. And okay, trying to figure out. Let me just try this. Cannot convert string to u long. Okay, this is a char, right? Right, because they're both primitives. 97. Okay, so it is the ASCII code. Okay, hi. I figured out a thing and have come upon a realization. First off, the way it converts a character to an integer is exactly what I thought. It uses the ASCII code. So that's good. At least I know that. The bad news is that I have no clue how to approach solving this, other than brute forcing it. Because yeah, there's bad news. I don't know how to solve this other than like brute forcing it by like, because this is the problem. I don't know how to get like in breaking this apart without the actual character. Like, this isn't like a normal cipher. And the only way I can think of is like basically like trial and error, going through a list of characters and then eventually just coming upon the right one. And I don't know, that can't be efficient, because we're not starting with a length of like how long the file name is, and I mean that's like over 50, like 52 characters, and then a space and then punctuation, so round up to like 60, maybe even more. Let's just say 64. And then to however many, like, if that were to be just like in the case of the example that you gave me, the number of different characters, oh, and there's numbers, so like we'll round up to like 70, right? Or 72, I guess. I don't know why that number just feels familiar, but like, yeah, so like from that one, like that's 7 characters. So like the number of possibilities of like that could have been gotten out of seven characters is 72 to the seventh power, which is this. So yeah, it's not efficient to just brute force it like that. Um yeah, I don't know how to decrypt this. Um I'm gonna try taking my stab at it, because I think this is a fun challenge, but yeah, encryption. There's probably like some very obvious solution. Let's see. Hmm. Well, okay. If this is just an encryption key, like, yeah, the problem is we don't have a way to find B. So, like, For each file, do you only have the encryption key? What's given to you? Because you're looking for the video file name, right? Wait a minute. Okay, so I see. So you get this list of numbers, and that's the file name, right? Does it come with a separate encryption key otherwise? Because that would make more sense. I don't see where that would... Okay, the encryption... Oh, okay. Audio is hashed. The same function is used. Okay. I see. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. This isn't my field. I don't know how to do this. Well, now I know that like it's pretty damn simple to encrypt something and make it very hard to crack. Yeah, I'm just gonna wrap the coloring. I'm not 100% final on this. The bloods like kind of bother me a bit because, okay, maybe it should be like a bit more pink over here, right? It's a bit like of saturation seeping through. I think I just want to get these lines. Like add in whatever dust and shit will be relevant. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do, because my mother is about to walk in the door. I need to tell her about the conversation I had about college today. I'm going to wrap this up off screen because there's not much left to do. Just like some cleaning up of things and a lot of mulling things over. So I'll do that off stream. I'll try and work on the logo a bit more tonight, because I have been taking stabs at that. But otherwise, I'm gonna end the stream here. Thanks for sticking around. And yeah, I'm gonna call it that. Let me just suppose I should end the stream by putting a signature down, even if it's not final. But like, sure. All right. Nice. I will just like subtleify that. Yep. Excellent.